Hello, Vaishnavi, you can start.
Okay, ma'am. So, good morning, everyone. I am Vaishnavi Patil from Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering and Research, and we are grateful to all of you to join the session. As today is Gudi Padwa festival, I would also like to wish you all a very happy Gudi Padwa. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this PES Day 2021 event, and I would like to share a little bit about PES Day. So on April 22, 2008, the Power Engineering Society changed its name from Power and Energy Society to focus on helping the environment and the society. This day has been officially commemorated as PS Day for past 3 years, and this year it's the fourth PS Day, and the theme of it is Clean Energy Revolution. So considering this and to celebrate PS Day 2021, our student branch PCCOR have organized a webinar on renewable energy using concentrated solar power. And to deliver this webinar, we have a very special guest, Dr. Y.S. Rao sir. He is the Vice Principal and Professor at Sardar Patel Institute of Technology and completed his PhD from IIT Bombay. He has published various research papers at different conferences. He is also awarded with the Honorable Mention Award by IEEE Computer Society, Washington, D.C., USA at the International Design Competition. So it's an immense pleasure to have him as a speaker for the webinar. So everyone, please join me to welcome Dr. Y.S. Rao, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam.
We welcome you, sir. Please, you can start with the session, sir.
Okay, sure. Good morning, all the faculty members and the students. And it's a festival day. We also call as a New Year in some of the states. And it's also known for mainly, cultural festival. We say, talk sweet. Good. So is my presentation is visible to all of you and my audio as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It
Yes,
is
sir.
visible, sir, and you are audible also.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Thank
Thanks to the management and faculty members for inviting me in this session. Uh, this session is very special to me uh, because finally it is all about our society. The topic is about clean energy. Uh, Revolution, I don't know how much we are doing revolution in clean energy. Still, some of the countries are unable to implement or protesting because you have to sacrifice, right? If you want clean energy, if your environment is clean, then you have to sacrifice certain things. So that's the reason some of the countries are still not doing enough. All right, so these are all my associations as Madam has introduced, Patil Madam and Vijay Lakshmi Madam, about I am working in SPIT and I did my PhD from IIT Bombay. Amtron Technologies is my company, some small cyber physical systems company. And I believe in this clean energy. So that's why I did some consultancy and also worked as a vice president to some solar companies. All right. So the center one is what today's topic, where what you can see is the sun radiation is falling on the dish and is reflecting back on the receiver, which generally you people don't uh, study or see such type of things. Probably what you might have studied is a PV panel, that's all, about how to generate the power. This is something different called CSP, concentrated solar power. All right, so I'm sure I was interacting with Vijay Lakshmi Madam. I was told that today we have students across the disciplines, and even first year to final year we have students. So don't worry, this topic is not about any specific expertise required. Absolutely no. Whatever I am talking this 1 hour is all about science. You people have already studied physics, chemistry, maths, right? In 12th standard, which is sufficient. That much knowledge is sufficient to understand this topic. So engineering is all about a bit of creativity, right? I mean, we have taken this profession is because we believe that we have some skills within us where we have that creative mindset, right? We are professionals, right? We are not just clerks or labor where lifelong we'll be doing the same job again and again, again and again. Not that. Whatever is we believe that whatever is the work are given to us, we will create slightly different from the existing thing. That's what we believe. That's what is our profession. That's where we have satisfaction, creative mindset. All right. Renewable energy, I would say it's not new. It's there for years, but now it has reached to our rooftops. Earlier, renewable energy means only for research purpose or somewhere big campuses, they have installed these things. But today you will see most of the buildings in city also, in Mumbai also, you will see a lot of buildings on rooftops. They have these renewable energy sources, maybe different types. I'm not discussing all types, but there are different types. In the photo, you can see there is a one renewable energy, which is not what the topic which I am talking, but there is a mistake in that. So I want this session to be interactive. Now, any one of you can tell me what is the mistake in this photo? Students. Otherwise, it's a one-way topic. Yes?
Shared above the panel.
What is that? Yeah, can you repeat?
Sir, shared above the panel. They have put
Very good, excellent. So it should be interactive, It's not that whatever I know is the only correct one. You also should. We are all engineers, right? So it's a solar system, but then you have covered the solar system with a shade. Then how the light will fall, how the sun rays will fall. Anyhow, it's a joke. Okay. Fine. So, as I was telling, I'm not talking about these various types of renewable energy sources. Otherwise, the photovoltaics and there are other techniques are there. These water heaters and drying systems and so on, which I'm not talking. I'm talking only what is called CSP, called concentrated solar power. Right. That's what is the today's topic. I know even 1 hour is not sufficient, but it is all about motivation, right? So that you people also can think of doing some mini projects on that. Power is is a serious problem, right? In any country, if the country is well developed, means per capita, how much power you are consuming, that figure will indicate. For example, in USA, per capita, per person is consuming 12,000 kilowatts. But in India, we are consuming 1,000 kilowatts. So that means it itself indicates that they are 12 times, right, developed than us. So this is one of the way of saying that what do you mean by developed nation? Developed nation means per capita, what is the domestic electricity consumption? That means, see, when you have industry, when you have automation, when you have excellent world-class transportation, then naturally you will have more power consumption. So in India, we are still not reached up to that mark. So that is our, though population wise, we are almost 1/3 of the world, right? 120 crore population means it is 1/3 of the world. But in power consumption, we are still less. All right. If you distribute that, this entire power, right, which segments are consuming maximum power, you can see space cooling and space heating, water heating is consuming more power, more than half of the power, right? Only heating and cooling is only consuming. See, that's the problem. It's not your lights, right, where we use it for study purpose and so on, or it's not your electronics components which are consuming, or appliances consuming. Majorly refrigeration, that is heating and cooling, is what is power is consumed. That means energy conversion, right? Energy conversion is consuming huge amount of power. That's the problem. It's a serious problem where we are not thinking. Just now I have shown you example. We are not thinking, we are fools, right? India is abundant solar power. We have a lot of temperature problems. Temperature is going above 45 degrees, but still we use heaters and geysers in our bathrooms and toilets. So that is the problem, right? When already the water is boiling, but instead of conserving the energy, we are again dissipating the energy. So we are literally fools that we are unnecessarily following the European and US requirements in India. That's the problem. We have a habit of keeping the air conditioner's temperature at 20 degrees, 25 degrees. We are the fools. Because when your ambient temperature is 45 degrees and you want your air conditioner to bring the temperature to 20, 25 degrees, impossible. So by switching on the air conditioners and operating at 20 to 25 degrees, you are literally killing the air conditioner. The life of your air conditioner is coming down. Not only that, but the amount of power you are consuming to maintain that, it is impossible, but still you are forcing the AC to maintain that 25 degrees is kilowatts of power you are consuming. It's wasting. You are wasting. Not only that, your body cannot resist, right? When the ambient is 45 and you are maintaining 25, that means your body is facing thermal shocks. You are giving shocks to your body where one side 25 degrees, other side 45 degrees, right? It's not that 24 hours you are in the air conditioned room. No, you are traveling, you are moving here and there. So a lot of thermal shocks. That means your body is getting brittle. Your life is coming down. So we are literally fools in wasting the energy and reducing our life by using these air conditioners. And similarly, heating system. But anyhow, as I said, we are not applying our brains. We are simply following what others are doing. All right, air conditioner should not be operated not below 28 or 29 degrees. That's all. 30, when ambient is 45, just be there around 30. Still you will feel better in your room. So never ever operate your ACs on chilled this thing. You are killing yourself. All right. The other utilization of the power consumption is, you all know, data centers. Today, the amount of data people are producing, right? These WhatsApp, or YouTube and so on, Amazon and so many IoT portals, right? Internet, the cloud portals, right? They are literally one city power is consumed by one data center. Please note that that much amount of power is required to maintain one data center. In India, we do not have a world-class data centers. In Mumbai, just recently one center has started, but otherwise it is very, very difficult to have data centers in India because you have to provide that much power. We do not have power. We have electricity power cuts, but still, right? If you want your industry to grow, then 24/7, without failure, you should provide the power. But we do not have. So that's why we are still facing problems of even maintaining a data center in India. Anyhow, so these data centers, cloud is future. You have already seen. Everybody wants to put the data on the cloud. So that's the future. Everybody is putting on the data on the cloud. So time has come where we are not only IT engineers, but also in terms of hardware point of view, telecommunication point of view, electricity point of view. We should have this infrastructure in place. Then only, make in India or Atmanirbhar, what government is saying, is possible. We must have the infrastructure ready. That means power should be there. Then automatically people will come, isn't it? So that's why I'm saying revolution is really required. Not yet started, but yes, it's badly required. Then only self-reliance is possible. I was telling first year to final year, you don't need to have engineering knowledge to understand this topic. Just a common sense. For example, efficiency. What do you mean by efficiency? Yes, anybody, any student can comment. What is the definition of efficiency? What is the definition? Efficiency is equal to? Hello? Output by input, that's all. No, it's a simple definition. See, don't feel bad. Nobody will laugh. Answer something which will confirm that at least my communication is happening. Otherwise, after some time, if the link is failed, then I'm just keep on speaking to my walls. So that's why in between I ask the questions, not to make a fun of it. No, absolutely no. Okay, efficiency is simple thing. Output by input. I'm giving some input. I expect the equivalent output. That means 100%. But it's never possible. So there will be always something which is loss. Some losses will be always there. So naturally, for example, power. If I'm generating the power of 327 gigawatts of power, out of that 22% is loss, is evaporated. See, that's the problem. Means 300 out of 327 gigawatts of power, 22% is evaporated, gone, vanished. That is why we always say that even saving the power, saving the losses itself is a great contribution where we are generating the power. If you save the power, as if you are generating the power. All right. So losses means it could be heat losses, it could be theft, or it could be any of this kind. So it's a really worrisome. Anyhow, so a distribution I had given that who are all consuming the power. But then this amount of power, I told you that around 327 gigawatts of power, how we are generating, right? Power, how we are generating. You'll surprised to know 58.7% of power is produced by burning the coal. See, that's why I'm saying, no, literally we are killing ourselves. Our life is coming down. You have seen people have a lot of cancer issues, diabetic, blood pressure, so many lifelong diseases people are already having this generation. I don't know what will happen to future. The simplest reason is we are burning the power by 58.7% just to produce only half of the power. And that too, we didn't met the world's top developed nation. We are still at right 12 times lower than the developed country. So what will happen if we keep on, right? Our demands are increasing. We are doing industrialization. We are doing air conditioning and heating and so on. That means are we going to burn even more coal, right? If you burn more coal 12 times than the existing one, what do you know what happens? Right? You are in a chimney, right? You are in a chimney, you are in a batti. Do you understand? You are literally inhaling the poison. Nothing else. Already we are doing by burning the diesel, petrol, now coal, and so on. So this is the reality. Please remember why so many people are having cancer problems or diabetic or the blood pressure and so on, lifelong diseases, because today we have spoiled our environment. It's already spoiled. If you have some equipment, if you calculate the particles in the air, you will be shocked to know that our air is highly contaminated. Our water is contaminated. Everything, our food is contaminated, highly contaminated, poisonous. You know what is happening in Delhi and those cold places because of the pollution, right? They are unable to breathe. Forget about life. First, they are unable to breathe. That's the problem. So that much pollution we are generating, we are creating by burning the coal or some agriculture waste. All right. So this is worldwide carbon dioxide emission, right? India is in third position in producing the carbon dioxide. We are also the topmost country apart from China and USA. But they are right. They are rich people, but we are not rich. That's the problem. We do not have enough infrastructure, but we do not have we have to think of alternate sources. If we keep on burning the coal, then we are dead. All right. So I was already telling about, what are the diseases due to pollution, right? Simple thing we already seen that almost everyday headache, right? Then this respiratory problems or heart problems, cardiovascular illness, or our cancer risks, and some organs may be affected, and so on. Even water is getting contaminated, and so on. So it's a matter of concern. It's a seriously matter of concern. Day by day, this pollution, right, is deteriorating our environment and our health. All right. Once we used to say, if you talk to your grandfathers, they may say that our own grandfathers used to live minimum 80, 90 years, right? Minimum life expectancy. Though 50, 60 years back, this much technology was not there. Nothing, even a fraction of the technology was not there. Electricity was not there, right? Forget about the technology. So if those were the days, but people were living above 80, 85 years, minimum 80, right? That was the life expectancy. But today, if you see, India is nowhere in the top life expectancy countries, because India today is somewhere around 60 years, right? Life expectancy of a person has come down to 60 years. So day by day we are deteriorating because we are actually producing this carbon dioxide and all these harmful gases by burning the coal and so on, because we want to produce the electricity, or we want to use our two-wheelers and four-wheelers by burning these fossils. Okay, so that is about the motivation, right? Why we should focus on some of the technologies which we require, not some other countries, right? Whatever is, unfortunately, what is happening in engineering is, whatever is the research we are doing, other countries are benefiting. This is the problem. A country is not benefiting. Somebody else is benefiting, right? Because what we do is we do some literature survey and we find that, oh, some problems are there, let us implement it. But when you publish it, who is converting them into products? Some other countries, not India. So that is why implementing the projects is not enough. Please remember, it's not enough. You have to see that you need to convert into the product, and our society should benefit. So that is why always look for what our society requires, and what our country, what kind of resources we have, so that implement only those solutions. Okay. When students are doing projects, right, we make some blunders. I will give you a simplest example. We forget always this first law of thermodynamics. We always forget, right? We always forget, and we say that, oh, I have done a great job. My project is fantastic, right? My results are excellent. I have improved this. My efficiency is so and so and so on. But we are fools, right? We are literally fools. We are fooling. Reality is that, please remember, it's a simple first law of thermodynamics. Energy always conserved. It cannot be created or destroyed, right? Energy is converted from one form to another form. This is the fact, and this law is still applicable, right? Why it is so? Because we say, no, I have done some great thing, but then we are forgetting one thing. If efficiency is improving, some other thing you might have compromised. Please remember this. So never ever claim that I have done a great thing by, or I have improved something. But to improve that, somewhere you might have compromised. Think of yourself, answers you will get. For example, if you have a Maruti car, right, you find that, oh, very nice car. It is giving very fuel efficiency, long distance it is covering, but they have compromised on the safety. If you meet any accident, then almost crash, right? Nothing will, pieces, body will become into pieces, because they have compromised on the safety features. The materials which they are using, lightweight materials, they are not using these safety materials, and so on. So when you are reducing the size, you are reducing the weight, then you are improving the fuel efficiency, but then you are decreasing the life of the vehicle, right? Safety of the vehicle. But if you see some other cars, right, maybe some probably German cars, say for example, Volkswagen or some cars like that, right, where you find that they are not economical, right? They are not efficient in terms of fuel. But then you all know the car itself looks like a heavy vehicle, right? The thickness of the metal and so on. Even if you hit something, first of all, people won't die. I mean, at least a small accident of that type. So please remember, efficiency is not a one parameter where you should worry. You should worry of so many things, not only one direction, many directions you should see. When I am talking about the power generation, that to clean power, please remember, these are the great scientists. We should salute them, right? What is their contribution? Any student, please answer. If you are in front of me, generally I have a habit of giving chocolates, whoever answers. But maybe when your college is open, I will request your madam to give the chocolates, whoever is giving the answers today. All
Yes,
right,
sir,
so
sure.
please answer. Yeah, please answer. Yeah, what is their contribution? These three Japanese scientists, they have done a great job. They have literally done a great job, where the world is now today are getting the benefit of their research. What is that? What is their contribution? I have written, no, you please read it on the slide itself, it is written. What is their contribution? See, who reacts first is important. Answer is already there on this slide. Yeah. Yes. What is their contribution?
They were red and green lights before, but later on they discovered blue LEDs, and then the white ones were produced.
Very good.
Long
Excellent.
lasting.
Very good. See, we do not have white LED, first of all, right? For years, last 30, 40 years, we have green LED, we have blue, not sorry, no, we have red LED, green LED, but we do not have white LED. Today, white LED is there. That's why we are using, we are able to produce the ambient light, natural light, right? White LED. But in order to get the white LED, you require a blue LED. And blue LED was not there for years. So these people's research was invention of blue LED. Now that has completed RGB, then we are able to get the white LED. So though their research, they are the scientists of physics, have invented blue, but what is the outcome of the result? White LED. Because of white LED, you know how much power they have saved? Trillions of gigawatts, trillions. Huge power they have saved. If you, for example, you can see in this slide itself, if you use a normal bulb, right? Normal bulb, 40% of the energy is loss in normal bulb. But in LED bulb, right, the efficiency is above 90%. What is happening in normal bulb? Yes, any student? The filament bulb or no? What is happening? Why the efficiency is very less?
The tungsten wire hits up, and the gas in it illuminates the light.
Right. So you all know that filament means actually burning, right? That means heating. So 40% of the energy, whatever we are passing through these bulbs, are converted into heat, not light. Only 60% is converted, 40% is waste. What do we do with that heat? It is of no use. We are wasting. In fact, we are making our ambient temperature to rise, and we switch on the fans and air conditioners. So it's waste of energy and double waste because you are using air conditioner. So filament is waste, literally waste. 40% are the losses. Instead of that, even if it is slightly costly, right? Earlier, LED bulb was costing very, very high, but now there is no much difference. Almost they are reaching closer to the filament bulbs, right? You will get in 20, 30 rupees LED bulb. But see, look at the beauty. 90%, above 90% is the efficiency. And the life also. Your filament bulb, anytime it may blow off, but not the LED. LED will come at least 10 years, minimum guarantee. Provided they have done the proper thermal that is heat sink design, right? Because LED lifelong it will work, but if you are unable to maintain that LED temperature, then it may blow off. So that you have to take care. All right. So I was telling that what is greatness here? They have done they have done research on blue LED, but the world has benefited by saving that to clean power, right? You have saved a lot of power, these people. So that's the reason. Even not only bulb, even LCDs, right? Your televisions, your computers, screens, laptops, everywhere now people are using LEDs, right? That's the, and life is more. That's the beauty of it. Other invention, the great invention is the electrical vehicles, right? Tesla, you all know Tesla is the first company, US company, who started manufacturing these four-wheelers by using electrical vehicles. But electrical vehicle is not new, right? In India also, we have electrical vehicle 30 years back. but it's not popular. For years, it is not popular. Riva, some company is there. They have manufactured, but nobody is buying. What is the problem? In electrical vehicle, the biggest challenge is the battery, right? If you use a lead acid battery, what we have today is it's a waste. Nobody uses lead acid batteries for electrical vehicles. That is because it is very heavy weight. You can see even in petrol engine today, you see those just for to giving lights to your car. You have a huge battery, right? It is not running your vehicle. It's only to start your vehicle, the battery is there. But even then, you cannot lift that battery that heavy. So materials point of view, life point of view, these lead acid batteries are not good. So we cannot use lead acid batteries in a electrical cars, right? So this is the invention. What is the invention? The battery material is lithium. Today, all your mobile phones, laptops, and these electrical vehicles, they're using lithium ion. So lithium ion is a great research, because you have already seen in mobile phones, the size of the battery is a very, very small, right? They're thin in size, right? Less weight. And the life is at least 4 to 5 years. Their life is much better than these lead acid batteries. But then what is the challenge here? In India, you can see I had given list of countries. In India, we do not have lithium ion. Then we are once again have a serious problem of, like right now, 90% of the fuel we are importing. Similarly, in future, lithium ion we have to import. So that means again we have to import. Again our rupee will fall down against the dollar. So that is why, dear friends, I'm keep on telling you, do the research where our country should benefit, not somebody else. For example, Tesla has done a research in lithium ion, and they started manufacturing the four-wheelers. But do you know who has largely benefited? China, right? Right? Their invention is done by America, but benefited by China. How? Because China has abundant lithium ion. See, look at their reserves, a huge amount of lithium ion. So like that. That's why I'm saying that please look at that. Which of the countries are having what kind of materials? In India, which materials, which minerals are abundant? Do the research where we can benefit, not our other countries. Anyhow, so that's all so far about my a small abstract on saying what do you mean by clean energy, or where we are measurably making mistakes and where our focus should be. Now coming back to main topic, concentrated solar power. So solar energy, you can see in India, we are blessed by sun, that 300 clear sun days we have in a year. Out of 365 days, 300 days we have sun, clear sun. If you go to Europe or some other countries, North Pole or South Pole, you find that they for 6 months there is no sun, right? That's why those countries give holidays for 6 months, because there is no sun. They always have a winters. So, but in India we are blessed, 300 days clear sun. But what is that? How much power we are using? Nothing. Even a fraction of the solar power we are not using. So trillions of kilowatts of power a sun is giving every year, right? But we are not using even a fraction out of that. That's why I'm saying that we are fools. We are importing and burning the fuels rather than using the sun energy and then clean and green, because you are not burning anything. You are only using the power. So we should actually, right, make use of what we have. Look at the radiation map, world radiation map. You will see that India is in a yellow zone, right? This is yellow zone. So yellow means reasonably good. See, reasonably good radiation as average radiation per year. If you see, We are much better as compared to many countries. Entire country I am talking. Even entire country, we are much better. Okay. So somewhere around 5.5 to 6, right, kilowatt hour per square meter in India we are getting. That is the beauty. We are blessed. See, above 5.5 means we are much better position as compared to so many other countries, and that too the whole country. So that's the beauty, no? But we are not using. That's unfortunate. Okay, so now let us come to the topic called concentrated solar power, CSP. Okay, CSP means what? CSP means, as you can see, design a dish in such that the entire sun radiation should be concentrated at one point, one focal point. Right, the sun radiation, you can see this, for example, there is a dish, right? The entire radiation is falling on this dish and you are concentrating. So let us discuss concentrated solar power technologies. What type of technologies? You can see this dish is different, this dish is different, this dish is different. There are different technologies called dispatchable, non-dispatchable, right? Dispatchable means like this. You can dispatch them, right? You can install, you can move and you do that. But these are all non-dispatchable. These are non-dispatchable, right? It is fixed. Your receiver and the dish is fixed. You can see the bolts and joints. You cannot dispatch it. But here it is dispatchable. You see, this is your receiver. But then this is a movable parts. And even the power generation unit is not part of it. But here power generation unit is also part of your dish. That's why this is non-dispatchable, right? Once you install it, it is installed, not movable. Okay, so quickly I will explain. Parabolic. You can see this dish. It is in parabolic in shape, right? And here you can see there is a tube. This tube passing from left to right. Now these sun rays, when the sun rays are falling on this parabola, they are like mirrors, right? They reflectors, you can say. So when the sun rays are falling on this reflector, it is reflecting and focusing the entire radiation at this tube. So through this tube, you are passing some liquids and or some water or whatever, which is getting heated up, and then that is converted into steam or later on maybe electricity and so on. That we will see. So this is how the construction is: a parabola called trough, where you have in line, you have so many parabolas, and then in the center you have a tube, which is called absorber tube. The other method of placing the dishes is, as you can see, the tube is not mounted on the parabola. It is separate. It is separate. It's a separate unit. But all these mirrors, right, reflectors, are focusing the sunlight at this focal point. That is why I told you it is all about physics, right? You should know the trigonometry. You should know some mathematical expressions and the physics, the logic behind what is the relationship between the sun and earth, right? What do you mean by the east, west, north, south poles? How the sun moves, right? Daily, how sun moves east, west, and how sun moves north, south seasonally. So unless you understand this physics, you don't understand this engineering. So science is first and then engineering. Engineering is the applications on science, right? It is all applied. Engineering is all about applied. So this is a second technique of what is called linear Fresnel. Then you can see tower, solar tower. So tower means, right, there is a central receiver and all these reflectors are reflecting the light to this tower. And now this fellow is burning and generating the steam for electricity and so on. So as you can see, this is one of the tower which is implemented in Germany. All these reflectors, right, are reflecting the sunlight at the center point. So megawatts of power you can generate because these are all reflectors are reflecting the sun rays on this focal point. This is what we have done when I was in the company as a vice president. It is called a parabolic dish, right? This actually non-dispatchable. You can see the reflector and this receiver. It is mounted on that. This all the light is reflecting to this receiving point. Okay, but then this dish is movable. Sorry, this dish is rotating, right? Daily and seasonally. Because when the sun is moving from east-west, right? Similarly, the dish also should rotate. It should track the sun. Then only you can generate the power. All right, so lot of applications, right? We have done so many applications like cooking, direct heating, hot water, drying, air conditioning, thermal desalination, or wastewater evaporation, and industrial process control applications. So many people have used this for cooking purpose. You can see the sun rays are falling on the parabola dish, and these rays we have to focus on the heating system. Probably in physics, you might have used convex lens, concave lens. So same thing, right? We used to burn some specific spot by focusing the sunlight, sun rays. Okay, so I told you there are other applications where this hot air blower through this also, these heat plates, if you blow it, then you will get a hot air. This hot air, you can use it for a drying purpose, right? Like vegetables or some seeds for like groundnuts. If you want to dry it, then why do you want to use the heaters, right? You use the natural resources, right? By blowing the air to these heat plates, right? You will produce a hot air that is good enough to dry your agricultural products. How to scale up, right? How to scale up, you can see one dish is not enough. So you require so many dishes if you want to generate kilowatts of power or megawatts of power. So you have to have, as you can see, some sort of a mechanism where they are placed in such a way that all of them are focusing their light to the one point called concentrated solar power. And these are all connected by pipes and some water supply. So they are heating this point, and this water is converted to steam. Now this steam is collected, right, to these boilers and finally reaching to some turbines to produce the electricity and so on, right? Because if you want to rotate a turbine, one dish is not enough. You require hundreds of dishes. So that is why I'm saying scaling up means now it is all about connecting these pipes and connecting these receivers, so that finally the steam produced is connected to a turbine. It has its own requirement. All right, so these are some photographs where we have implemented in the company, and they are also done. These are a little bit mathematics, since due to lack of time right now I'm not going by mathematics, but it's all about physics. What you do, all of you, is that just on Google type parabolic dish or shuffler's dish, then you will get a lot of information that what should be the angle of the dish, right? How it should rotate to the axis, what should be the distance between the receiver and the dish, and then what should be the angle of the receiver, right? What should be the height of the receiver. This is all physics and mathematics. It is all about your sun and earth position. It is all about geographically where you are on the earth. What is your longitude and latitude? Accordingly, these calculations will differ. They won't be same because your sun position is changing, right? In India, in Mumbai, or if you are in some other part of the country, these calculations will differ. So that's why I said it is an interesting topic of 12th standard physics and little bit of mathematics. If you take interest, you will understand this sun and earth relationship and this how to focus these sun rays on a specific point. But please note that I told you that convex lens, right? When you focus these rays at one point, do you know how much temperature is generated here? 1200 degrees centigrade. 1200 degrees centigrade means, imagine you can melt the metals. metals can be melted. That much heat you can produce by concentrating these solar rays at one point. All right. So those are all various components of it. This is you. If you by any chance, if you go to Shirdi on where the cooking is happening, maybe you can see these dishes are installed, supplied by the company which I was working. And yeah, let's not go about mathematics right now, today's lecture. Maybe in future, if you're interested, we can discuss. And this is again installation in one Muni ashram in Gujarat, and in jails also it is implemented. And as I said, some mathematics in that. Yeah, maybe there are good number of research papers which are published how to calculate the efficiency. Efficiency means what? Finally, what is my input when sun radiation, how much sun radiation I am getting and how much sun radiation is actually converted into the steam. So you will surprised to know that the efficiency is only 66%. If you put it into the formulas and if you calculate, that means still you have 30% sunlight you are not using because it is going in losses, whatever. So that means it is always there is a possibility of improvement, right? Efficiency can be further improved. So cost, right? You also should do some cost analysis. Finally, if somebody is investing lakhs of crores, then in how many years you will recover that money? So some mathematical, I will mail my slides to all of you. Just to go through it. If you require any other question answer sessions, we can meet afterwards. So take your own time in understanding this. So calculations shows that today, if you invest on these areas, within 2 years, you can recover the money. That's what is the calculations. Yeah, I have visited various places. This place is called, in Mount Abu. There in Mount Abu, there is a place where complete solar concentrators are installed in 55 acres of land called Brahma Kumari's place. So you will see this, they are much bigger. We have implemented only 32 square meters, but they have implemented 64 square meters. But the same scientist, right? This German scientist, right? This fellow, German scientist Wolfgang Scheffler, he himself is personally supervise this project, right? So when we visited that place, they are actually under construction. You can see they are still erecting these dishes. So these are all, right, 55 acres of land. They have, you see, finally it's a big park. See the beauty. Right? It is all a workshop. You have to do it at the site only. You cannot transport these dishes because they are heavyweight. Okay, so what you will find is that they're all having some physics, right? They have mathematics, there is some electronics, that there is a software in it. Because finally the software only trying to understand, right, which day you are, which year it is, what time it is, what is the radiation it is. And based on those calculations, then it has to control these dishes. So now definitely there is software in it. And I told you about the performance point of view also. You have to work out on some financial models. There are some investors called the power purchase agreements, right? Even government of Maharashtra also passed the bill saying that you can supply the power to government. It is possible. You can do that, right, under PPA. So a lot of things have been in place. A lot of investors are there to invest into your projects. So even if you do not have money, but then there are investors, because you are buying the power, not the project. So somebody is building the project for you. Yes, it is possible. So various payment methods are also in place by these companies. Finally, as I said, it is all about automation. People are talking about IoT into these systems, wireless communication into these systems, because you don't need to physically go there and monitor, control all these things. Through Internet of Things also, it is possible to monitor remotely, because these are all in the fields, right, remote places. So every day you cannot go there to monitor each and every dish. So better you connect them through wireless communication technologies, and then through your mobile phone or laptops, you can monitor the performance of these things. So there are some good references are there. I will mail you these slides. Probably you can go through it. So I am also a manufacturer of some embedded systems and IoT products. I had given to a good number of colleges, including COE, Pune, and top reputed institutes. So these are all used in various laboratories, some low-cost solutions so that students can freely implement and test without any fear. Even if they're burnout, nothing will happen, don't worry. So do it yourself. I have some videos on Mtron technologies on YouTube. Just refer those videos. I explained various technologies, how to use these microcontrollers, or how to design the boards, or how to use the compilers, how to write the application programs for these device drivers. So some videos, more than some 50-60 videos are there. Maybe you can go through it. Some of the concepts are repeated again and again. So better to record yourself and put it into the video. So Mtron technologies on Google, if you type it on YouTube, you may be some useful literature you may get it. Yeah, that's all from my side. I know I have limited time. Within the limited time, I think I try to balance. Yeah, now it's time for question answers.
Thank you so much, sir. It was such a wonderful session. I'm sure all the participants have gained a lot of knowledge. Now, I request if anyone has any questions, they can ask it now. Or if not, you can put it in the chat box. Any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, in the first year, we had developed one project, solar power bank. So for that purpose, we had used 1 watt of 5 volts, one power bank, solar panel. So the efficiency which I'm getting is very low. So how can I scale up the efficiency of it? Like if I go to higher ratings, the size also increases, but I want that in a compact form. So can you suggest some alternative to it? Or
Yeah. So what I was telling is that, you know, I told you the first law of thermodynamics, right? If you have, somewhere you are compromising, right? For example, if you want low cost, isn't it? Since you want to reduce the cost, that's why you are using a solar panel which is made up of silicon as a material, right? That's why the size is bigger, weight is more, but cost is less. But efficiency is also less. Somewhere some 16% is the efficiency. But then people who are using in defense applications, right, or maybe some space applications, their solar panels are not made up of silicon. They are made up of some hybrid materials, some films. So their efficiency is above 50%, 40%, at least 40% is the efficiency. So as I said, cost and performance, size, these are all related. Efficiency, these are all related. So you cannot achieve everything at one place, right? If your customer is affordable, like defense people, for them nothing. Cost is not an issue at all. So they can afford. So there, you know, even if you say that the cost is 3 times, they are willing to pay for that, pay for the cost. But if you are talking about the vehicles and all, the cost is an issue, but then weight is also an issue. So that's why they are not successful. So yeah, I mean, research is still happening that how to reduce the cost of the solar panel by using silicon wafers. But then there is a bottleneck here. Please remember that. What happens is the solar spectrum, when the solar rays are falling on the silicon wafer, up to what extent you can produce the current. There is a limit that depends on the atomic structure. So the efficiency, maximum efficiency is possible is only 27%. There is a issue related to your what is called this atomic structure. So we are helpless, right? So you have to get rid of this silicon if you are really worried about the efficiency. Yeah, so problem is there if you use silicon as a solar panel.
Any more questions?
So you should always see, once again, I'm telling you that who is your customer when you are manufacturing or designing something. First thing you should see is who is your customer. You have to look at the customer, right? Accordingly, you have to select your materials and the devices, right? Whether, for example, in some of the applications, cost is really a matter of concern. Whatever you do it, but then first thing they see is the cost. Then you may miserably fail. Please remember that. So that's why you have to see that who is your customer. Accordingly, you have to design or choose the things.
Thank you so much, sir. Today we have with us from PCCOER, HOD of ENTC department, Dr. Mapari sir. I request you, sir, to say a few words.
Thank you, Srinivasan sir, for your valuable time. Actually, if we see the current scenario, the traditional energy sources which are beyond the limit of common man. Now, this is the need of time. Such kind of lectures and the invention is the need of time. And in this regards, the Department of ENTC, PCCOER started the incubation center in solar energy. So we will require your help and the cooperation in future also. Again, I would like to thank the Kumar madam for arranging this session and for the giving time. I again thankful the Srinivasan son. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sure, it's my pleasure. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thank
We
you,
will
sir.
work together. Yeah.
Yes.
And I would like to put the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank Y.S. Rao sir for sharing their valuable thoughts and so great information with us. I would like to thank all the participants for attending this session so patiently on the day of this festival. Thank you for coming here and attending this session. I would like to thank our principal sir, our HOD sir, and Kumar ma'am for giving the IEEE section of PCCOER this opportunity to share such a wonderful session with everyone. Also, I would like to remind everyone that a feedback form will be shared. Please fill it and let us know your valuable feedback. You will receive a certificate after that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And we are very